Friends, and I am raw to the bone. Come on in, y'all. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I know I'm a little late, but I've been telling y'all work has been working, and I had an 8 o'clock meeting this morning, and now that that's done, here I am. So I'm going to start you guys off with the positive vibes. We're going to get through our positive thought. We're going to hit our topic, and that's the way the day goes. All right. I always say what? It's going to be a what? One second, y'all. I'm gonna have to put y'all on mute real quick. Okay, guys, I am back. You see how work be working me? Hey, Pat. Hey, Ghost. Yes, I took a work call, so now I gotta go to the audio because I gotta play. It's gonna be a good day. Wake up, really gonna rise. Because we gotta do this. Get some good, some food in you. Step 3. Think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4. Everybody just do your thing. Wake up. Hey. Today's gonna be a good day. Yes. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. 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 Set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do. The aftermath of preparation. Hey. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. Good morning, y'all. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Hey! Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. 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 Hey. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. So life ain't easy, y'all. I think there's a reason, though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, y'all. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, y'all. But you always gotta fight and hide from the demons, y'all. Negative thoughts are poison the ride. Hey. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. What? Hey, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken. I got patience. One day at a time, that's how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best. Man, I take it. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Thumbs up, y'all. Thank you, boo. Today's gonna be a good day. Thumbs up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Wake up. Today's gonna be a good day. Hey, good morning, y'all. You know, y'all are so funny. But y'all are real grown-ups on here. You know, I see y'all out there doing y'all shit. We got a Coffee with Friends resident that has an OnlyFans page. Is it only one of our Coffee with Friends residents that have an OnlyFans page? They are publicly advertising their page, so it's not a secret, right? And we are grown folks here, so don't be judging nobody. I don't have my no judgment cup. Don't be judging nobody that has an OnlyFans page on here, because what the fuck? You know, I can't get no OnlyFans page. I don't want my job finding me and then. Now, no telling when I retire what I might do. But damn it, you know, a girl can't even get an OnlyFans page without worrying about her job. But good luck to those that have created an OnlyFans page. You know, life be lifing. All right. And so I celebrate you. I do. I wish you plenty of luck. Happy Monday, y'all. So guess what? I'm so excited. I got such a hectic schedule. You know, I love being busy, but then I get tired just thinking about how busy I am. This weekend, oh my God, I cannot wait. My girlfriend, yesterday I was on the phone talking to Frenchie, and she was laughing at me because I was literally starting to get my stuff together for this upcoming weekend, right? Because we know that I'm going to be in Maryland this upcoming weekend, and I'm so damn excited, right? And so I picked out my outfit, what I was wearing to the play. I picked out my outfit, what I'm wearing on the train. I picked out what I'm wearing from the train. Now I see a group text going around talking about brunch on Sunday. And I'm like, wait, can I make brunch on Sunday? Brunch on Sunday in New York City at 2:00. I was thinking if I jumped on the train, the Amtrak train from Baltimore, right? If I decided to go, I can I could change my ticket. Instead of getting off at Newark Penn Station, I could change my ticket to go into 34th Street Penn Station. And then I could Uber over to the restaurant in the city and go straight to brunch in New York City. I could do it, y'all. I could do it. I mean, I love it. I love having so much to do at times. I do. And so I'm excited about this weekend. Brandy is picking me up. I'm taking the train into Baltimore Penn Station. Brandy is picking me up from there. We're going to go eat, freshen up, then go to the play, hang out at the play, enjoy the play, hang out with Johnny and his wife and whoever else is attending the play, and just have a good time. And then my ass is out and I'm heading back to New Jersey, New York. You said that's too much to go to brunch. It's only a lot to go to brunch, goes because I'm coming from Maryland, right? If I was already home, I would just go to New York City, right, for brunch, right? It would be just a ride over to New York City. But only because I'm going to be in Maryland is why it seems like a lot, because brunch is Sunday and I'm coming from Maryland on Sunday. And so, that's why it's a lot. If my ass was home, it wouldn't be that much. My girlfriend would swing by and pick me up and we would just go right to the city. Easy. It's not hard to do brunch here. No different than you getting in a car, driving downtown 30 minutes. Same thing, same fucking thing. It's just that I'll be coming from Baltimore. So yeah, me dragging a suitcase, to brunch, that's some New York shit. That's some New York shit, and I love it. All right. Come on in, y'all. Give me the thumbs up. How was y'all weekend? What the hell did y'all do for the weekend? What did I do? What did I do this weekend? I know yesterday I worked the hell out. That bike fucked me up. I took 4 classes on that bike yesterday. I took my 30-minute class. Was it 4 classes? I took a 30-minute class. I took a 10-minute arm class. I took a 10-minute low impact class. And then I took a cool down class. So yes, 4 classes. No, Ghost, I have a car. I know people think that, but we drive. We drive here. I don't particularly like to drive, but I have a car and my car is parked in my garage, right? We have cars. My girlfriend drives everywhere we go. She drives, right? And so she would normally pick me up, right? People that live in Manhattan just hop across in the train, but we don't live in Manhattan. I live in New Jersey. We got to drive here. The fuck? We drive. Shit. All right. I didn't do much this weekend. I mean, again, yesterday I worked the hell out because, I got to get back to Sundays being my aggressive workout days. And so I worked out real aggressive on Sunday. And what did I do Saturday? Saturday, I kind of chilled for the most part because I never really get to chill, right? I cleaned my house really good, steamed my floors and shit like that. I don't mop anymore, y'all. I don't know who's still out there mopping, but I gave up on mops a long time ago because I feel like mops just keep spreading all that funky germs all over your floor. So I steam my floors. I literally have a steamer and I steam my floors, my wood floors, my bathroom floors, my kitchen floors, everything I do with the steamer. And then I have a separate steam machine that I use for my furniture when I want to steam my couch and stuff like that. And so I focused on doing that Saturday because I know this upcoming weekend, I'm going to be out. I'm going to be in Maryland. I'm going to be too tired and I'm not going to have a chance to clean my house. So I did my house, washed all my linen because nothing like getting in the bed with some fresh ass linen. All right. And so I did all of that. So now, I feel at peace in here. And then last but not least, I did an Instacart order for groceries, which didn't get delivered until 9:30 p.m. last night, but I didn't have to go to the grocery store, so I was okay with that. And the shopper did excellent. And so I was happy with my grocery delivery. What about y'all? Anything exciting this weekend before I get into the positive thought for the day? Anything? All right, so I'm going to get into the positive thought for today. Today is September 11th. And we all know that that's the anniversary of what had happened to us many, many years ago, September 11th, where we lost our Twin Towers, right? So there's a lot of people today that are remembering, that terrorist attack that happened on 9/11. They are remembering the loss of family and loved ones. They are remembering the loss of their coworkers. They are remembering a time that was sad. So I say this to say, please be conscious of, the day, and understand that there are people that are dealing with trauma as it's associated with today. So let's be kind to each other. We should be kind to each other on a daily basis anyway. Um, but just move with a little bit of conscience today, okay? Today could be a trigger for many people. So just let's be kind, extra kind. All right. And with that, I'm going to go in and read September 11th's positive thought for the day. September is the month of trust, trusting yourself first and foremost. All right. September 11th, I experience and express the power of trust because I am relying on the presence of the divine troops to come to my assistance. There is a powerful presence that surrounds you at all times. This presence is called the God Squad. The God Squad opens doors of opportunity and closes the portals of self-defeat. The God Squad nourishes your spirit and nurtures your mind. When you need to see something, the God Squad is your eyes. When you need to hear something, the God Squad whispers to you. Should you need to know something, the God Squad makes it plain in a way that only you can understand. Think of the God Squad as a legion or an army of super beings whose mission it is to advance your intentions and efforts. These beings will lead you or follow you. They will guard you or expose you. Don't worry, the God Squad will never turn against you. It will keep your best interest in the forefront of your mind. It is important that you become familiar with each member of the God Squad. The general of the squad is truth. Look for him all the time. He will be assisted by the mages, trust and faith. They will always lead you back to the general. The captain of the squad is forgiveness, whose first lieutenant is surrender. These are the two who execute the battle plan. Lieutenant is surrender. These are the two who execute the battle plan. Reporting to the master sergeant, perseverance, is the private first class, gratitude. If you get into trouble with either of these two, you will face a court martial in front of your belief. Until today, you may have thought you were marching through life on your own. Just for today, use the energy and ammunition of the God Squad for your protection and your defense. Today, I'm devoted to calling upon the power and intelligence of the God Squad. Wow. Wow. September 11th. Okay? Run towards surrender, run towards faith, but ultimately, belief is where we end up. What we believe, right? What we believe. September 11th, right? Okay, so Cena said, good morning, Michelle. Cena said, I'm remembering running from the attack. Hate this day, Cena. You see how I said, good morning, mother. You see how I said, be kind. One second, guys, because You see how I say be kind, right? Because people are remembering what they went through on today's day. Anybody else wanna reflect on their memories of September 11th and what occurred on that day for them? I mean, I remember being in Jersey City in my office, over by Columbus Avenue and over by Grove Street. And I had a couple of staff members that reported to me that was in World Trade Center, market data team. And when this happened, we all ran to the corner office, my boss's corner office, and we could see from his office the plane hit we saw the second plane. I didn't see the first plane. I saw the second plane hit the Twin Towers. And the managers in the office that day had to be the last ones to leave. We had to make sure that all our staff was accounted for before we could leave the building. By the time I was able to account for all my staff, they shut down the highways and everything, and I was unable to get home. So it took me hours to get home that day. But thankfully, I was safe. A couple of people that I knew came over to my job from the ferry, and they came over to meet me and travel home with me. And when they got to me, they were wet, they were dusty because the dust from downtown, and plus they got sprayed on before they got on the ferry. It was really a traumatic day. So if anybody wants to talk about, what they remember on that day, and how they're feeling today, we have space for that before we get into the topic. Michelle said, I remember getting in the office and everyone was watching the TV. Yeah, that was a sad day, right? It was like something you see in a movie. It was like, literally a sci-fi adventure, like seeing people with dust all over them, seeing masses of people running, seeing people having to walk across bridges to get home, right? Seeing people help each other out, pure strangers that you wouldn't talk to on a daily basis, helping each other out. People were in pure survival mode. It was like watching a sci-fi movie. It was like watching, a war in a third world country. It was very frightening. It was something I mean, I never thought that I would ever experience in my life. And so, again, let's be mindful of what today brings. All right. And so with that, y'all, anybody else want to talk about, their September 11th memories or anything, just chime in with them and that's fine. I'm going to throw up the guest link. I don't know how long I'm going to be on here today because I do have work to do. You see that I took a call while I was on the phone and I have some things that I need to follow up with work. Good morning, Cheryl Lee. Michelle said, as we are watching, we saw the second plane hit. I started crying and my boss sent me home. I'm glad you were able to get home, right? Because the train stopped running and people had to walk. So I'm glad you can get home. I couldn't get home. Did I drive did I drive to work? I did. No, did I? I don't remember if I drove. I think I did. I think I did drive to work. But the highways were closed. We couldn't get on the highways. All the highways were shut down in New York City. So today's topic, guys, right? Because, we want to give the men a break. Last week, we were harping on the women, the Black woman, et cetera, et cetera. So I want to give that a little bit of a break. Not that I'm giving it up completely because I do want to circle back around to it, but I want to talk about the Black man today, right? And grinding mentality. So this was sent to me and I watched this video. I shared this video on Facebook. I shared this video in Discord for you guys to take a look at it. All right. But the grinding mentality and the Black man, right? When you think of grinding mentality and the Black man, what do you think about, right? I'm going to tell you what grinding really means. The word itself means to wear down. It means to crush. It means to oppress. So when you think of the grinding mentality in the man, what is it you think about, right? And I never thought about it until I listened to this video, right? Because when I listened to this video, there are several men that I can place in this very description of what this gentleman, Jason Wilson, in his video is describing, right? About the black man and the grinding mentality. And I want to talk about this with the intention of how do we change the narrative of the grinding mentality to wear down, to oppress, to crush, right? Why do our black men have this weight on them, to constantly be in this grinding mode? And I'm not saying black women do not have this, right? But we're not talking about the black woman today. We're talking about the black man, right? Because I know in every situation we can go, well, what about the woman, right? But today, for today's sake, we're talking about the grinding mentality, to wear down, to crush, and oppress. Okay? People that grind constantly are often worn out, right? You ever look at your significant other, your male partner, and he's always complaining that he's tired or something hurts or he feels worn down, he's exhausted, right? And we just brush it off as, oh, he had a long day, or, oh, he's just tired today. But overall, when I listen to this video by Jason Wilson, he talks about the grinding mentality and the way men walk around and they feel like they are only worth their grind. They are only worth what they do, right? And so I want to talk about, for the men that are on here, do you feel that way? Do you have the grinding mentality? Do you walk around with this weight on your shoulders that you are only worth what you do, right? And so when you're not doing, when you're not grinding, you don't feel as worthy, right? And ladies, from a woman's perspective, when you look at your man, do you expect your man to live in this grinding mentality state? Are you watching what that grinding mentality is doing to your man? All right. Do you see where they are being worn down, oppressed, crushed? And how are we intervening for our men when it becomes too much for them and they're not speaking up on it? Do we recognize this? All right. The grinding mentality. Okay. And we're going to talk about, how do we know when our men are in this grinding mentality? How do we know that our men only feel as though they are worth what they do? There are some things, some indicators that will tell you that your man is probably feeling this way. He is only worth what he does. Have y'all seen that? Do you know what that looks like? Have you experienced that in your relationship? Has your man shown you the grinding mentality? Do you have the man that when Father's Day comes around, he doesn't want to be celebrated? He says he doesn't need anything. He says, don't worry about me. On Father's Day, don't celebrate me. Do you have the man that when his birthday comes around, he goes, I don't celebrate my birthday. My birthday is just another day. I don't make a big deal about my birthday. It's nothing. Right? Do you have the man that says that? And do you just take it as, oh, my man don't celebrate his birthday. Oh, he don't care about stuff like that. And do you just brush it off and walk away? Right? See, for me, I used to brush it off, right? When a man says, oh, don't celebrate my birthday. I don't celebrate my birthday. It's no big deal. But I don't brush it off anymore, right? When a man or a woman, well, we're talking about men today, tells me that, oh, I don't want to be celebrated, I celebrate him anyway. I don't need anything for my birthday. I get him a little gift anyway. Father's Day comes around. Oh, fathers, we don't mean anything. We're not important. We don't need to be celebrated. I celebrate him anyway. My male friends, if significant other, whatever, I celebrate him anyway, because what I've learned is that when guys walk around and they say, I don't need to be celebrated, right? I feel, and this video further put a stamp on that for me, is that I feel as though sometimes they feel as though they don't deserve to be celebrated, because some men only feel like they are only worth what they do, right? And so we as women, or male partners, if you're in same-sex relationships, right, have to change the dynamics of how our significant others are feeling and get them out of this grinding mentality. Okay. Also, Jason talked about when you look at the population of people when they get older, right? The elderly couples, a lot of times you see women, elderly women, right? They're still walking with a little pep in their step, right? A lot of times you'll see the man, he'll be on crutches, he'll be bent over, his back hurt, his feet hurt, his something hurts, he's broken down. Because why? For so many years, he's been in this grinding mentality, right? Oppressing himself, wearing himself down, not celebrating the good times, where some women might find a little bit of balance in that. Like we grind, right? But we also celebrate. Like, let my birthday come the fuck around. I'm celebrating. The fuck? Let my friends invite me out. I'm going, right? But then you'll have a population of men that don't make time to celebrate, don't make time to go out, don't make time to spend their money on themselves, don't make time for joy, because all they think they are is their paycheck. How do we change the dynamics of the grinding mentality? And where did it start? Where did it start? Where do we think this grinding mentality started? Was it mother? Well, happy Grandmother's Day to you, mother. I didn't know yesterday was Grandparents' Day. You know, they come up with all these made up days, okay? All these made up days. This is what they come up with. But happy Grandmother's Day. How about that? And to all those out there, happy Grandparents' Day, okay? I didn't know it was a day. I can't keep up with these days. Who makes up these holidays? Who does it? I don't know. Oh, y'all. All right. Nobody is chiming in on the grinding mentality for their men. Y'all don't give a fuck about our men and the grinding mentality and how they feel and don't want to be celebrated. I'm just here to say this, though. I'ma still celebrate my significant other, irregardless to whether he says he doesn't want to be celebrated or not, because I feel that most men do want to be celebrated. Most men do want to be recognized. And the other day we learned that most men want to be needed, and we have to be able to express that we need our men. And so a part of needing them is also showing them appreciation. So if your man turns around and be like, I don't want to celebrate my birthday, get him a little gift anyway. Recognize that little ass. Put a little fucking birthday hat on his head and be like, happy birthday, babe. Because I celebrate you. I love you. Michelle said, I do not have a man, but my late hubby was easygoing, and I was the one that always made a fuss about celebrating. So he was always covered. Okay. And didn't he appreciate it when you celebrated him? I have not. Thank you, Clarence. I love that. How you came in with that. You need us women. I love that. All right. A lot of men, I have never experienced one man to get mad at me for celebrating him when he said, do not celebrate him. I never experienced one man saying, why did you celebrate me when I told you? But I could bet you how many men are disappointed even after they said, do not celebrate me, okay? And you turn around and do not celebrate them, right? How many men deep down inside would be disappointed? Think about that for a minute. How many men deep down inside would be disappointed because they want to be celebrated? Aquanda said, I do, but he says that I don't listen and he doesn't do holidays. And he's not the grinding type. Okay. He's not the grinding type. Okay. And he doesn't like to be celebrated. And when you do, he gets annoyed. All right, well then I never had that experience. I know anybody else have a man that says, do not celebrate me, and you celebrate them and they get annoyed? How many ladies on here have experienced that? Because I have not. And so, Aquanda, your man not being the grinding type, how does that make you feel? Because, ladies, that's the other question, right? Like, I love a grinding man, right? But I still like the quality time, right? And so the other day we talked about a busy man. We want a man that makes money, so we have to accept the busy man, and I get that and everything, right? But still, we want to make sure that our men don't fall into this grinding mentality, right? And we want to make sure that as women, that if we have a man that falls into this grinding mentality, that we are still carving out space to celebrate our men, let our men know that we need them. And still, even when they say that they don't want to be recognized, right? We still recognize our men. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to let a birthday go by and I'm not going to recognize you. I'm not going to let a holiday go by and I'm not going to recognize you. That's just how I am, even when you say don't. Exactly, Clarence. Grinding wears you down. But where did this grinding mentality come from? Right? Where did this grinding mentality come from? We're talking about for men. I know the women are itching to talk about themselves, but we're talking about for men. Where did this grinding mentality come from? And why do some men feel that that's all they are? They are only what they do. Why do some men feel that way? See, Michelle? Exactly. He appreciated it, right? And I feel like, I've had conversations with several men where they're like, oh, nobody thinks about me on the holidays. Nobody cares about me. So I don't even look forward to the holidays. And I believe that it's not that people don't think about you or people don't care about you. I just think that when some people say they don't make a big deal about the holidays, some people take that and they respect your wishes and they be like, okay, if this motherfucker say he don't want to be celebrated on his birthday or whatever, right? I'm not going to do it. And then some men feel bad because they feel like we should do it anyway. Some men really truly feel deep down inside that they don't deserve it. Right? So when you hear your man say shit like that, think about who your man is. Right? Think about, is he really serious? Right? Do you know your man? Do you know your partner enough to know whether he's just so used to being in the grinding mentality that he feels that he doesn't deserve any more than that? And would you think outside the box and still step in and do for your significant other? Clarence said, we do not have value beyond what we produce. This is an attitude from slavery. How do we change the dynamics in that? Good morning, Johnny. How do we change the dynamics in what Clarence is saying below? Right? Johnny, we're talking about the grinding mentality in our Black men, right? Grinding is to wear down, to crush, to oppress, right? People that grind oftentimes look worn out. And we're talking about what this looks like for our Black men. Our Black men walking around putting value on what they do. The grinding mentality is, it equals their value, right? Men that don't that feel that they don't deserve being celebrated on their birthdays or Father's Day and stuff like that, right? because they only put value on what they produce. So Clarence is saying, and I'm asking, where did this grinding mentality come from in our Black men, right? And from a woman's perspective, how do we combat this in our men? And how do we recognize our men when they are in this grinding mentality, right? How do we change the narrative of this? Clarence said, we do not have value beyond what we produce. This is an attitude from slavery. How do we change that? If we know that we don't have value beyond what we produce, and this is an attitude from slavery, how do we change the dynamics of this? I love this. I love that statement, Clarence. How do we change the dynamics of this thinking in a whole? How do we change the dynamics of this? If we know this to be true, Clarence, being that you gave the example in your life, how do you spin the narrative on this for yourself? You know this. You know that grinding is to oppress. You know that this makes it easier for the police to kill us. You know that this started back in slavery. So for you as a man, right, how do you change the dynamics and the perspective of this in your life? Okay. I need an answer. If you have one. Johnny said, I feel that deeply while I'm working 2 jobs, being in 3 different places and still trying to make sure I spend time with my family. Grinding mentality, right? How does your family, Johnny, help with helping you keep balance in all of this, right? Because you're working across 3 plays, you're working 2 jobs, right? And you're trying to balance family time, right? And you're in the crux of what we're talking about, grinding mentality in the Black man, right? So how does your family step up to the plate? How do they make you feel like you're more than your grind? Clarence said, we have to get a renewed mindset individually and as a community. Everything cannot be money centric. What are some of your suggestions? We have to get a renewed mindset individually. So for you, Clarence, what is the individual mindset you have developed as it relates to the grinding mentality for you? Maybe you could share what that is for you, and we can maybe others can jump into that and pull something from it. This is how we learn from each other, because I agree with you. We have to get a renewed mindset individually, right? And as a community, but first we need to start individually, right? Everything cannot be money centric, and I agree with that. I agree with that. uh Negus. Okay, so no. We won't do that. I didn't like that username in the first place, so no. Um Michelle said, I think when they say it, it's a cry of wanting attention. What does that mean, Michelle? What does that mean? When you say what? When they say what? I think when they say it, it's a cry of wanting attention. When they say they don't want to be celebrated on Father's Day or don't celebrate their birthday, you think it's a cry of attention? What do you think they're saying? Nobody celebrates me. I'm used to not being celebrated. That's what I hear. When I hear someone say, oh, I don't celebrate my birthday, I don't make a big deal, nobody gets me any gifts anyway, or whatever the case may be. What I hear is nobody ever celebrates me. I'm never celebrated. People just want stuff from me. Nobody cares about me. That's what I hear when a man says, I don't want to be celebrated for my birthday, or I don't want to be celebrated for this. All I hear is disappointment. Okay. I blocked Negus because I can't take the name, and this person was coming on with some fuckery, and I don't have time for it. All right. If you're not coming on here with some serious input and feedback, then beat it. The fuck? I don't need it. Right? A cry for attention. So, ladies, this is a great point that Michelle is bringing. When your man says stuff like, don't celebrate me, I don't need this, I don't need that, it might be a cry for attention, not in a bad way. It could be trauma. It could be past disappointments. It could be like that brick wall effect where, that brick wall effect that says, I don't want to be let down again. I don't want to celebrate my birthday and nobody shows up for me. I don't want to celebrate Christmas and nobody buys me a gift, right? They don't want to be disappointed. That's what I hear. So they throw out a defense in advance to say, don't celebrate me. This way, if you don't celebrate them, they're not disappointed. They've already put that expectation out there that they don't expect to be celebrated. Okay? I love that. Pat said, a candlelit dinner with all his favorite foods and wine, R&B music with good conversation. Just because you appreciate and love is well appreciated and well received. Right? It's the little things. Show your man that you appreciate him by doing the little things. You don't always have to go out there like Clarence said and spend all your money. We need to get back to, renewing our thoughts and showing each other appreciation, building our community up without it being attached to something monetary. The little things. And we need to start that individually. Clarence said, time management. Make time for God through our families. Then take time for ourselves. Everything else gets prioritized after that. But don't we forget that at times, Clarence? The world be going, life be lifing. And sometimes we flip that shit around. We wind up putting the grind mentality first, the working, the money. All of that becomes first. Then we put our family, and then we be like, oh God, you're in there somewhere, right? Time management. What are we doing with our time? What is important to us, right? What do we recognize as a priority in our lives? Michelle said, in the Bible, we women were made to be a helpmate. So we as women need to do our part. That part. So if you as a woman has a man that is grinding, and oftentimes, when I'm not saying stop him from grinding, because the thing is, a lot of times we need them motherfuckers to grind, right? But when you hear your man starting to take himself out of the celebratory space, bring him back in. Let that man know you love him and you love everything about him. And you appreciate the things that he does, right? And pay attention that he's not wearing himself down and getting stuck in that grinding mentality. He is worth more than what he does in the grind. We need to be able to make that transparent. Good morning, Deb. Yes, she is, Clarence. Cheryl Lee says some people like to be celebrated every day, not just on the holidays that are man-made. True. The holidays are an example, but you're right. Like Pat said, throw on some music. For me, I don't have a live-in significant other, right? But for me, even living by myself, I play music. I always try to dress sexy, even by myself. Right? It is what I do. So when I have a significant other in my presence, me dressing sexy on a nightly basis, it's not for sex, right? It's to make, me feel good, right? and my significant other, if we're living together, when they come home and they see that, I'm creating the environment, right? I'm creating the environment. I'm showing appreciation for the space that we're both in. That's my way, right? It doesn't always have to be monetary. And you're right, it don't have to be on holidays only. They are not used to it. How did I guess our men got so far from being celebrated, right, over the years, right, that some men live in a space of they're used to it, right? I don't want my man or my significant other to ever be used to not being celebrated. I want to celebrate them at all times. Talk about it, Clarence. Talk about it. These reality shows are killing us as a community. These folks are going broke, portraying a lifestyle they cannot sustain. And you know what's crazy about that? Some of these people on these reality shows be filing bankrupt, their houses be in foreclosure, they selling cars behind the scene. You know what I'm saying? They scraping and shit. And a lot of the name brand shit that you see them with, these companies like Gucci and Chanel and Fendi, Louis Vuitton, they give them a lot of shit for free. Y'all be thinking these women be out here buying these Birkenstock bags and all this shit, spending 30,000, 100,000 on bags and shoes and shit like that. A lot of these companies give it to them free because they know if we see Cardi B carrying their Megan Thee Stallion and we see the baby rocking some LV sneakers or Beyonce rocking Adidas, calling it her own line, Ivory Snow or whatever the fuck it's called, we gonna spend our money on it, right? But a lot of these people are getting this shit free. Meanwhile, the working class people are following what we see in reality TV and can't keep the fuck up, right? Reality TV is killing us. Good morning, Theo. Cheryl Lee said, in my opinion, you have to have a balance and not to be conditioned to live the lifestyle of whatever society says this is the norm. Yeah, we definitely need balance, right? But for whatever reason, we get sucked into what society shows us and we want to be what we see. Michelle said, do not be a part of the grind. Oh, that's a good one. Michelle, I need you to break that down because you on it this morning. Do not be a part of the grinding. Celebrate him when he comes home. You know how I read that, Michelle? You don't want to be extra work for your man. What? Ladies, y'all not going to want to hear this morning and y'all going to want to fight me. But don't be the extra grind that your man comes home to. How about that shit? Don't be the extra work he got to come home to. He done grind all day, right? And what Michelle is saying here is, you don't need to be a part of that grind. You don't need to be a part of oppressing him, tearing him down when he comes home. Celebrate him. You ever hear those men that say, oh boy, I hate to go home after a long day of work because all she gonna do is nag me. All she gonna do is complain. Or all she gonna do is talk 55,000 miles per minute. And I just don't want to hear it. So that man takes a little detour and he stops at the neighborhood bar and has some drinks because he don't want to go straight home because he's looking for some fucking peace. Don't be a part of the grind, okay, when your man comes home from work. I like that. Johnny said, I think we have to keep the lines of communication open and be transparent when talking to let people know that you are appreciated or to know why you don't like to be celebrated. That's a good point. Like Aquanda said, her man does not like to be celebrated, right? Why doesn't he like to be celebrated? Is it connected to some trauma? Where did that come from? right? And I'm not saying that we all should want to be celebrated. I'm not saying that either, but just transparency so that you know who your partner is, right? That's a great point, Johnny Hill. Okay? And letting each other know that we appreciate each other. You don't have to wait for a special holiday to do that, right? And Michelle, you're right. Do the unexpected for him. Sometimes it's the little things. Mm. Do not be conformed to the world system. How do we avoid that, Clarence? You said reality TV is a contention for us. Social media, people say, is a contention for us. What advice would you give an individual that is surrounded by reality shows, that's surrounded by social media? What advice would you give a person to avoid conforming to the world system? And while we're talking about this, Theo, I know that you have today an event that's going on online called Prestimony. I don't know if you want to jump on for a minute and tell people about Prestimony, where you're teaming up with a crew of life coaches, counselors, therapists, motivational speakers, etc., to discuss testimony, right? Pressing on and testimonies about, accomplishments, right? I don't know if you want to jump on and talk about that for a few minutes to get people engaged in that. I didn't forget. Today is testimony for you. And so I think that that's a big deal, right? And so I'm all about celebrating the community here at Coffee with Friends, just like I celebrate Johnny and his play that's happening this weekend, September 16th and 17th. Johnny will be appearing in the September 17th show. I will be there Saturday, because Sunday is too late for me to get back home and prepare for work. And so I will be there Saturday, Johnny. All of my arrangements are made. After the show, I'm going to go ahead and book my train ticket and send that information over to Brandy. Okay. And so I don't know, Theo, if you want to jump on to the stream and talk about Prestimony in case anyone wants to register for the event this evening. Okay. Let's spread the word. Let's spread the word. All right. Johnny Leon Hill said, as a man, it feels weird to be fussed over. And a lot of time, because we don't get celebrated, it puts us in an uncomfortable position to be celebrated. We are not used to it. Let's try to make it normal. I agree. I agree, Johnny. This is it, and this is coming from a man, y'all. So, ladies, don't act like we don't know. We have the men on here telling us, right, what it is they need, what it is they want. All right. And so it has gotten to a point where men feel weird, okay, because they don't get celebrated. So it puts them in an uncomfortable situation. We have to normalize celebrating our men so that our men are not feeling uncomfortable about celebrating and they brush it off by saying, don't celebrate me. Right? Let's normalize celebrating our men. And if you have a man that really is like, who gets embarrassed by, big productions and shit like that, don't go all out and do no surprise parties and shit like that. Ease your man into being celebrated slowly. Do things just between you and him, right? Surprise him with something little. Like we said on here, don't wait for a holiday. Do something nice for him when he comes home from work. Get him used to being celebrated in small, intimate spaces between the both of you before you start celebrating him out loud and in public. Because again, our men in many cases have gotten so used to not being celebrated that a lot of times they're embarrassed to be celebrated in big crowds. They don't know how to accept being celebrated. So start out in baby steps, all right? In small, intimate spaces. Start celebrating your man. Okay? Cheryl Lee says, shouldn't the goal be to have a more inclusive and equal society in the Black community where everyone's achievements and contributions are acknowledged instead of gender and stereotypes? Absolutely, Cheryl Lee, but today we're just talking about the Black man because last week we talked about the Black woman, right? But absolutely, achievements and contributions should be acknowledged instead of gender and stereotypes. And the only reason why I'm focusing on the Black man is because I don't really hear many women walking around saying, don't celebrate me, right? I see in my circle of people that I know, I'm speaking of the population of people that I know. Most of the women in my circle are like, fuck around and miss my birthday if you want to. Fuck around and act like Christmas ain't coming if you fucking want to. Act like you don't know our anniversary if you want to. Most women are looking to be celebrated. Mother's Day is crowded in the restaurants. People can't even get the fuck in the restaurants on Mother's Day. Father's Day, we're still expecting the men to still cook on the grill. The restaurants are free and open. You know, a lot of men are second thoughts on Father's Day and birthdays. So that's the only reason why I am focusing on the Black man here today, because the grinding mentality video that I shared on my page is being spoken by a gentleman, Jason Wilson, and he's talking about the grinding mentality as it refers to a man. Okay. But yes, it should be across all genders. Oh, Clarence, that part. That's a good one. Clarence said, push gifts are also a part of the grinding culture. You have to pay for those diamonds somehow. I'm not saying do not take great care of your wife or significant others. This should be done daily. Now, let's talk about that. Because, see, Michelle Henry earlier said, yes, thumbs up, y'all. Thumbs up. I should have 19 thumbs. You know, Michelle Henry said earlier, do not be a part of your significant other's grind, right? Because we're talking about the grinding mentality as it relates to a man. Michelle Henry said, do not, women, do not become a part of your significant other's grind. And look what Clarence Cunny just said. Clarence said, push gifts are also a part of our grinding culture. That's that shit, reality TV. I blame that shit on reality TV. Okay? Listen, before reality TV, I didn't know shit about a push gift. I didn't know motherfuckers was buying Birkenstock bags, new cars, diamonds, and shit for push gifts. Actually, I'm lying. Reality TV wasn't the first place I heard of a push gift. It was when I read the book Be More. Okay, you know, one of them hood books. All right, it was about Baltimore. Okay, it's B dash more. And in that book, when the drug dealer had his baby girl, he put diamonds in the baby girl's ear and gave the mother a push gift. And so I was reading this in the hood books from before reality TV came in. But reality TV gave us a visual of what this actually looked like on TV. And I think it spread fire. Why do we feel like we need to give our women push gifts? Why do we feel like we need to give our women push gifts when they have a baby? I ain't getting no fucking push gift. The fuck? My push gift was my child. How many people on here agree that we should be giving push gifts? That's a part of the man's grind. Yeah, the additional stress on the man to show up with diamonds and expensive bags because you delivered a baby. How many of y'all think? Pat says, so when he comes in after grinding, touch him, feel him, give him one of those rubs that Robin gets monthly. Oh, baby. I don't know if he gonna get that kind of rub because, you know, I be getting rubbed for 90 minutes. That's a long motherfucking time. But yes, touch him. And I'm very touchy-feely. Like, I love to touch. I do. Like, I love to touch. Like, I'm going to touch you. But, I got to know that, it's okay that I touch you and it might turn into something else. If I don't think you ready for the next step, I'm really not going to touch all over you like that. because I'm a touchy-feely. I'm a touchy-feely. Clarence said, give up the hugs, the kisses. Taking care of regular bills are to be celebrated. Baby, let a motherfucker come up in here and take care of my bills. I'm going to do a lot of celebrating. Let an MFer come up in here and take care of these bills. I'm going to do a lot of celebrating, okay? It's going to be a fucking holiday in here every damn day. They're going to be like, what? Okay? Because, listen, Cheryl Lee said, that's what I mean that's what I mean. We are conditioned by society to make these separations. It wouldn't happen if society didn't push the narrative. True. I was about to ask what a push gift is. Oh, you didn't know what that was? Yeah, push gift. All right. Clarence said, take care of your woman. Do the laundry. Clean the house. Take care of the baby. Yes, Clarence. That is how you take the grind from the woman. Yes, fellas. Yes. The little things that we do for each other to take the grind mentality out of it for both of us. Because as a single woman, I feel like I live in the grind mentality. I feel like, but I still want to be celebrated. You are never going to hear me say, I don't want to be celebrated. You're never going to want to hear me say, I do not want to be celebrated. Okay? Christmas, holidays, every fucking day, walk in the house, celebrate me, touch me. Surprise me with little shit. Take me out to get something to eat every now and the fucking again. I'm not a cockroach. I go outside in the day. That's how we help each other. Juanita said, I am the queen of affirmation. I like to make a man know and feel that he is appreciated. I know that's right. I like that too. I do. I like that too. Little things he does should be shown as appreciation. Yes, let's not forget the little things. I guarantee all of this sounds good up here on the screen, but how many of us are executing this in our homes today? For those that have significant others that live underneath the same roof with them, how many of those are celebrating them like this on a daily basis? And the reason why I emphasize underneath the same roof is because when you're not under the same roof, I mean, I'm gonna still celebrate you if we together, but we're still kind of grinding separately. So I mean, it's a little bit different for me anyway. That's me, Michelle. Don't give me no damn push gift. I want time and a little attention. That's what I want. Okay? That's it and that's all. I'm not greedy. I don't need a push gift. Actually, first of all, I ain't gonna be pushing shit. Not really. I ain't gonna be pushing a damn thing. So shopping cart in the grocery stores. Maybe you want, and I don't need a push gift for that. I just need you to show that you appreciate me. Juanita said, let a man come home to a peaceful space. He already has to deal with the world beating him down. No need for him to dread coming home. What does dread coming home look like? When we say let a man come home to a peaceful space, what does that look like for you, men? What does a peaceful space look like for you? Make sure you have aligned yourself with a partner that appreciates what you do and how you express your love. Otherwise, your efforts are in vain. I guess we got to make sure this shit first. Make sure you have aligned yourself with a partner that appreciates what you do. Wow. When you look at your significant others, that those who have one underneath their roof, do your partners appreciate what you do and how you express your love? Mm, mm. Theo said, I celebrate myself and I love celebrating other people so they can experience what it feels like to celebrate themselves. I love that. Yes, I love that. I absolutely love that. And I love celebrating other people. Even people that be like, don't celebrate me. Fuck that. If I appreciate you, you're going to know I appreciate you. Even when you tell me, don't celebrate me, I don't need anything. I won't make a big spectacle of it because that tells me that maybe you don't want a big spectacle. But I will do something for you that is intimate between me and you and get you used to me celebrating you. I will never not celebrate my partner. Juanita said, alarm don't want to go home because a lot of men, you mean, don't want to go home because they don't want to hear the person in their home just bickering and bitching about every little thing. The nagging. That's the shit the men run from. Perhaps he wants to come home and just take a shower, eat some food, and let you know how his day went. Get all the world's shit off of him. Decompress. How about that? This is definitely food for thought, right? We have to celebrate all things, big and small. And that's the topic for today, grinding mentality as it relates to the Black man and what that looks like. And keep in mind what grinding means. Like, social media has made that word like, a popular word. I'm out here grinding all my life. I'm grinding. And we celebrate that grind, right? But the meaning of grind is to oppress, is to tear down. Why do we celebrate tearing down of our own bodies, of our own minds? Why do we celebrate that? Now, I know grinding can be positive when we have our own businesses, when we have our jobs, and we see the successes that come from the grinding. But sometimes people get so deep in the grind that even when the successes come, they don't see them. They don't make the time to celebrate them. So they get hooked into this grinding mentality where they never see the joy of their efforts, right? And then you have to ask yourself, what am I grinding for? What am I grinding for? Right? And then most importantly, like Debbie said, make sure that you're aligned with someone that appreciates you, appreciates your efforts, that wants to celebrate you, that appreciates how you love them and how you celebrate them. And make sure you are aligned with the right person, because that's normally the first issue. Normally we get with people based on the wrong things, right? And then when we're not celebrated, we're wondering why. When we're not complimented, we're wondering why. Right? This is where we go back to trusting ourselves and choosing what is best for us. Right? Because if we align ourselves with the right people, then celebrating each other should be easy. Cheryl said, as long as we are conditioned by society, consumerism, there is always room to make one feel not celebrated. That is a form of control. We sometimes don't want to acknowledge that. Mm-hmm. But we, one person at a time, one household at a time, can change the dynamics of this by reminding ourselves that we should celebrate each other. We should not be stuck in the grinding mentality. We need to remind ourselves that our mental health and our physical health is important. We need to remind ourselves that celebrating each other is a part of sustaining. Johnny said, one of the reasons I don't like to be celebrated is because I don't like to be disappointed. I mentioned that earlier. And it is why I go above and beyond when celebrating others, because I do what I would like done for me. Love to hear it from a man. This is what I said earlier. This is exactly what I said. Most men say, when Michelle said a lot of men say it for the attention, how I interpreted that was, it's like a cry out. It's like, I don't want to be disappointed. It's them saying, I've been disappointed. When I wanted to be celebrated and nobody celebrated me, I was disappointed. So now I don't expect it. I don't even want it. I want to avoid being disappointed. It's a wall. It's a brick wall. And Johnny just said it, right? I know people in my life right now that always says, don't celebrate me. I don't want to celebrate. But when my birthday or or holidays come around, they celebrate me. And I'm like, I'm going to celebrate you regardless because I appreciate you. I love you. Our men don't want to be disappointed. So they say, don't celebrate me. We can change this. Juanita said, set my list. No, we are not alive with the person that we're with. But because we're desperate to be in a relationship and have somebody, we don't be lonely. We overlook a lot of shit. Oh, we're not. Meaning, okay, I know that there's some typos here, but basically what you're saying is we're not aligned. We are not aligned with the person that we're with a lot of times because people settle in relationships, right? Knowing that they're not aligned with the person that fits them best, right? And so we force ourselves to stay in situations not to be lonely, and we overlook a lot of shit. That goes back to what we're talking about in the month of September. We have to trust ourselves to choose the right thing that's for us. Right? That's not for somebody else. That's for us, right? We have to recognize the red flags. We have to recognize when something is not for us. And even if that puts us in a space of being by ourselves, that doesn't necessarily mean we're lonely. We have to learn and trust and believe that we are okay being by ourselves until we find somebody that aligns with us the way we need. Being alone does not equate to being lonely. If you feel lonely, then some other work needs to be done. Right? We have to stop settling. Key thing, align yourself with with a person that will appreciate you in the ways that you need. Pat said we should always remember what we loved about him in the first place. Always go back to the basics. Go back to the love. I love that. Always go back to what we loved in the first place. Always go back to the basics. I love that, Pat. I absolutely love that. And so today's topic was grinding mentality as it relates to the Black man, and then the positive thought of today, September 11th, as we are in the month of September, and it's around trust, is to rely on the presence of the divine truths, your belief, your faith, right? Trusting yourself. All right, September 11th, for those that have the book Until Today by Jan Levine. My book is falling apart, y'all. Look. Oh, look, a whole piece is out. And so I read this book year after year after year, and it never gets old for me because every time I read the positive thought, even though I read it last year on this date, something new comes out of it for me always. And even if I don't get anything new out of it, it's a reminder for me to go back, okay, to the foundation of what some of this is saying. All right. So if you don't have the book and you're interested in the book, Ayan Levon's on Until Today. September is the month of trust. Trust ourselves first and then work on trusting others. Okay. Cheryl Lee said, it means more to me when you celebrate me just because you want to show me appreciation and love, not because someone says it's time to do that. It's more meaningful to me. Yeah, I agree, Cheryl Lee. I like to be celebrated all the time. And I like to celebrate my significant other all the time. I do. I love it. And so I agree with that. 1000%. And I appreciate y'all joining Coffee with Friends. There's a couple of announcements I need to make now that we have more people on here. And so, I wanted to tell you guys, and we don't have to talk about this now because I got to go, because I got to prepare for my next meeting. But I finally got to see The Girl in the Closet with Tammy Roman and Remy Ma. Oh my God. What? That was a trigger for me a little bit. That's a trigger for me a little bit, because if y'all didn't get to see The Girl in the Closet, please watch The Girl in the Closet. Good for you, Clarence. You moved out of World Trade Center before September 11th, right? So you were gone. Theo said, I love my own company. So when I'm in my when a company of others, I choose who I want to share time with now, and I will not settle or ignore flags. That part, that whole part. Love your own company, right? And do not ignore the flags. So, announcements. Again, September, this weekend, oh my God, I'm going to buy my Amtrak ticket right after this live and send the information over to Brandy so that she knows what time to pick me up from the train station. I will be coming into Baltimore Penn Station, hanging out with Brandy, freshening up, getting to the show. The show is at 7 o'clock. After the show, we're going to go out, hang out, have some drinks, some food, or whatever the case may be. I'm going to be nice and full, because don't y'all think I'm not coming to Maryland. Let me tell you something. Before I get to the play, I'm putting my mouth on some crabs. Where's Brandy? I gotta put my mouth on some crabs. I'm going to be in Maryland. So when Brandy picks me up from Baltimore, lunch is on me. I want to go and eat some crabs, some seafood. Crab cakes, crabs, everything crabs. I might even want a lobster roll. See, my eyes are always bigger than my stomach, but I just want it all in front of me, and let me pick and figure it out myself. Some oysters on a half shell. I'm ready. Come on, Baltimore. Come on, Maryland. All right. So I'm getting into Baltimore Penn Station on Saturday, early afternoon, hanging out with Brandy, eating and shit. Play at 7 o'clock, hanging out some more. Probably some chicken wings after that, because I love chicken wings while I'm eating at the bar. I love me some chicken wings. So I gotta find a place that has some good chicken wings and some good drinks. All right. Then coming up in November, from November 16th to November 20th, we have our trip in Houston. G&M. Okay, let me write this down. G&M. Tell Brandy to take me to G&M. Brandy. Okay. All right. So I'm going to tell her that. Okay. I'm going to get crabs there, Johnny. I need crabs. I need some crabs. I'm going to get crabs at G&M. I'll tell her. All right. November 16th to November 20th, Coffee with Friends will be in Houston, Texas. All right. We will be arriving on November 16th. We will be doing a quick meet and greet for anybody who arrives that day. We'll pick a place to meet up at. I will start working on the itinerary. I need to call Fancy and Deb and start working out the itinerary, places, time, addresses, so that we can start publishing the itinerary and getting that out there. We're probably going to use Discord to communicate, because most of you guys that are going to the Houston trip is already in Discord. And so we'll use that as our communication channel throughout our Houston trip. All right. We'll be communicating in the channel trips planned, or there's a trip channel there. So just go to that trip channel and we will be communicating in there. Okay. And so everybody that's a part of Discord will see that. Where can you watch that movie? It's a Lifetime movie, so it might be on Lifetime on demand. I watched it on the FD Movies link that Ghost gave me because Amazon or somebody is charging $2.99 for it. You could pay $2.99 for it, but I didn't want to pay. It's out there though. Michelle, Girl in the Closet stars Tammy Roman and has Remy Ma in it. And it was really a trigger for me because it took me back to a place, in time, in my life, in my trauma. And this is where I talk about trusting family. You know what I'm saying? You think family is the one to leave your kids with. Watch Girl in the Closet. Okay. I just want to make sure I can get it at G&M. All right. I just want to make sure. And if it's good. All right. I know I can get crabs anywhere, but I want good crabs. Okay, Johnny, I want good crabs. So back to Houston, November 16th, we are getting there. November 17th to the 19th, we'll be in Galveston, Texas at a beach house doing our Friendsgiving, our games, our drinking games, our coffee with friends after dark. Maybe we'll get a chance to do a wine tour, wine tasting. And then Sunday, we are heading back to Houston to do a series of events in Houston. And then Monday, say la vie, take your asses back home. All right. And so, it's going to be exciting. And so after Houston, I'm probably going to bench the city hopping trips for a minute. Right. Because we're going to roll into January where we will start talking about our summer soiree and publishing our summer soiree trip so that people can start securing their rooms and planning to hang out with us at the end of the summer. That is when we all get together at the end of the summer and we have our summer soiree, AKA retreat, where like-minded people get together, have fun, unpack some more topics up and close and personal and get to know each other. That is what building a community looks like. We are building a community here. All right. One step at a time, one person at a time, one event at a time. And so I appreciate your support for everything that you guys do. Support shows up in various ways, and you guys have been supporting me. I'm sleeping at Brandy's house this weekend. I met Brandy through Coffee with Friends. All right. I met her several times up close and personal. She extended her house to me. When I get to Texas, Deb has extended her house to me. I met Deb, Coffee with Friends. This is a community that we are building. All right. And so let's continue to build. And with that, I'm going to send y'all out with some positive vibes of the day. Oh, reminder, tomorrow is Tuesday, y'all. I'm going into the office tomorrow, so I will not be here with Coffee with Friends. Tuesday and Wednesday this week, I am going into the office unless something really, really, really unless something critical changes that plan. I will be in the office, all right? And so I will not be here for Coffee with Friends tomorrow and Wednesday. So with that, let me send y'all out with some positive vibes because even when you feel low, you can still go. And you can. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. Yep. I never answer to no, man, I still go. And I know this is Coffee with Friends, and I'm raw to the bone. Come back Thursday, y'all. I'm in the office tomorrow and Wednesday. Get this message on the way out. Hustle hard. Hey. What? I've been doing shit my way on the highway. Thumbs up, y'all, on the way out. Peace. Hey. Anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, just believe what? What? Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. And I don't, y'all. Peace. See y'all Thursday. I'm out.